Okay, I hope people can hear
Check.
us.
1 2 1 2.
Okay.
Wait for
Some humans. Yes. I wonder if you attach it like to your necklace because then it's not sideways. Yeah, perfect. Just like that. Yes, girl. Oh, there we go. Okay. Looking for the humans. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited for this because being able to do like things like this with people who just get it is it's just awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Absolutely.
The experience that I had with you was surreal. I did some healing here in Florida, New Orleans. But to just, like I told you, the experience that I had was like an ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And I had to leave the country for that.
Right.
So to be here and just your energy, your power, and just the way that you command the healing to assist your clients. I was your client that day, and so it was like, just your voice, just everything about you. I'm like, that's for her.
Oh,
And I got to let the world know that you exist.
thank you.
Because people need assistance.
Yeah.
They don't really know where to start and how to begin, and they don't know that real help is out there, not just the typical therapy sessions that you just go and telling people your business, but nothing is changing in your life.
Absolutely.
And so now is the time for change, not just talking about it, but being about it, being assertive, taking your power back, and you're someone who can definitely lead the people to their promised land. Whatever your desire is for your life, holla back at Saya for sure.
Thank you. And I like want to touch on what you said about you didn't like you all the talking that you didn't have to do. Like, how many questions did I ask you about your shit before we started?
Nothing.
No.
You just say lay down, stop smoking that weed. You can get your put it out, and stop all that drinking, and get ready, because what's about to happen is on a whole other level. Nothing that you warned us.
Yeah.
You warned me. Like,
Yes.
it's about to go down, baby. And I just thought it was gonna be, just some breathing. Like, I know about the prana, I know about the breath of God, and
Yes.
how powerful it is to do the breath work, because I've actually healed myself with breath work.
I love that.
But this was different. It was life changing.
Yeah.
And something happened on the inside of me, and it's just changed my life. Even speaking with you yesterday, we had the meeting, and I'm thinking I'm just coming to see how I can assist you. And you said, write the book. You just spoke the word, and I went home and I made it happen. I wrote the book and dropped it today, and it's like, what you do, your energy puts that fire up under some asses, baby, so people get things done. Now, we ain't just talking about it, baby. We being about it, baby.
We being about it.
We bees about
it. Yes, exactly.
I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much, because I know that it's meant for me to tell my story through writing and books and even my music and different things like that, but I just had been lollygagging, and yesterday was every time I come in your energy, baby, it transforms me.
Thank you.
And so I know if you do it for me, because can't too many people transform Shonda K, baby, but just
I'm saying, like, you have done so much. Like, there's so much in there and so much wisdom in you, and like so much, like, you just create spaces for people to, like, you always want to bring people together.
I do.
You're like, let's fucking just do this.
Let's do it.
And let's make it happen. And that's the kind of people that we need, because I've been in the spiritual space for a really long time. There's not a lot of people that are out there like that. There's not a lot of people who really, like, we like to say a lot of stuff, but like actually being about it and doing it is a very completely other thing. Yes. And I'm so happy that you do feel like activated and motivated in my energy, because like that's really what I'm here for. Indeed. It's I'm here to activate. I am an activator. I'm a priestess. Like, this is the energy that I bring. And it's like, when I see somebody with so much magic, so much wisdom within them, and it's not out there, I'm like, where is it? Where is it?
Yes.
It keeps saying something.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, can everybody hear us? We just wanted to
I
wait
see
for
Robert
some
is
people to get on.
watching. I'm honestly, he's been here for a minute, so I assume that he can hear us.
I do
I would really
too.
hope so, unless you're listening on silence. That'd be, hey, I would do it. Look at us.
Hey,
Hey,
I would too.
right?
Yes, ma'am. So, can you start off by telling the people who you are, the plight that you went through, and what put you on this healing journey to even have the passion to go so hard for yourself when it comes to the self-love and healing, and now you're offering services to people? Like, where does your story begin?
Yeah, so man, it starts all the way in utero, but where it really starts is after I had left my pimp. That was one of the biggest catalyst moments, and I had a ton of things that had happened up until then that led me to being vulnerable to be trafficked. But that was the catalyst moment for me. And leaving him was really hard because I had been with him for 3.5 years, and I'm thinking like, this is my boyfriend, this is my partner, like, one day I'm gonna get out of this. And I just saw like the goalpost kept moving and moving and moving. And one day I got fed up, I got sick of like just the constant like pushing the needle forward without even feeling like there was any progress. And I just snapped. I yelled at him. He got really upset, like put a loaded gun to my head. And after that I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I have to get out of here.
We
Like,
got to back up.
yes.
You said your pimp
Mm-hmm.
and being trafficked.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, can we back up and like,
Mm-hmm.
how did
Let's
all
go
of this?
there.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, when they hear like pimps and hoes, they really feel like, oh, that was like the person's choice. And I we can argue all day that there are a slim few people that really feel like they chose that life, but for the most part, like, I see trafficking, whether it's sex trafficking or labor trafficking, all including commercial sexual exploitation, which is what prostitution, stripping, OnlyFans, those are all commercial, which just means like through money, through commerce, that they are making money from selling their body. And so when we think about trafficking, we're thinking like ropes, chains, white vans, that kind of stuff. But trafficking can happen in a myriad of different ways, and it actually, the U.S. is the third largest, for third most popular for trafficking in state, like in nationally, which is
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, I think the only ones, I can't remember who's first, but second is China. So there's one other country that's even bigger than China, but like, you think like China's a huge country, they have a ton of trafficking, and internally and externally. So for me, my mother was also trafficked because she was addicted to drugs. She also was an alcoholic, and that's how she got her fix. So it's kind of like generational too, in a way, because even though I didn't grow up with her, it's like the circumstances, that the vulnerabilities that you're put into when you have your mother in that situation, like, you kind of fall into it
It's
as
in the blood.
well. It's in the blood.
It's in the
Exactly.
blood.
Yes. So when I met my pimp, I was homeless. I was like sleeping in my car.
How old were you?
Was 19. 19, about to turn 20. So, and I had just gotten out of jail for some stuff I didn't even do. They let me out on a personal recognizance bond after 43 days. Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy. Yeah, and the reason that I was in there for so long was because I wouldn't take a plea deal. So they kept coming to, thank you. They kept coming to me with like all these stupid deals, and I'm just like, I didn't do anything to even be in here. So the fact that like I'm here, that's crazy. Like, you're not going to play me like that. So sat in there. Finally they let me out on a PR bond. But I got let out to nothing. Like, no, I had no place to go. I had no home. Like, it was over for me. So I'm sleeping in my car, walking down the street one day. Beautiful man with this beautiful Lexus honks at me, and I look over, and I'm like, immediately yes. So he pulls over into the gas station across the street, and the rest is history. He was like, "You need a ride?" I said, "I sure the fuck do." Like, I'm out here walking because my car, even though I was sleeping in it, was broken down.
Wow.
Yeah, the I don't know if you have ever had like a Camry or like the Toyota Camrys.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about the 1990 Camrys is if the oil light even flashes, like if you even go like 2 miles over that 3,000 mile oil change limit, that engine's locking up.
Wow.
I had three Camrys, and that's how I ruined every single one of
Oh
them. Was
my
like not
goodness.
getting an oil change. Don't be like me. Don't be like me, people. Don't be like me. Oh, watching from class.
That's what's up. How
Hey,
y'all doing?
hey,
We've
hey,
been waiting to
hey.
see if y'all can hear us. We just vibing.
Yes, yes,
Shouts out to the
yes.
Empress
Oh,
Queen.
love you too, Nina. Okay, good. It
Yes.
looks like they can hear us, so
Yes,
that's
I
great.
think
I
so.
know, I know Nina would tell us if
Indeed.
if they
Yes.
couldn't.
What's up, Empress?
Yes. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Thank everybody. We
Yes,
appreciate y'all.
we do. Yeah. So with that, 3.5 years of all this goalpost of like, oh, we just have to save 10K, save 10K.
So
With
what
no.
what was what did this relationship entail? So did you go
Mm,
out, when you talk about pimps and hoes or
yeah.
prostitution, was you how did it all play out?
Yeah, so he asked me if I needed a ride, and of course I said yes. And then after, he uh, got me food. He took me to go get some clothes, and I was like, "Thank you so much." Like, you kind of feel like you owe somebody
Yeah.
something, even though he didn't say nothing. He was like,
Right.
"Oh, you're good,"
Hmm.
and he was like, "Well, can I take you back home? Like, are you like where do you want me to take you?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't have a home. I like live in my car." He was like, "Oh, no, no, no." So we got me a hotel room. I was able to shower, the
Yeah.
whole thing, the
Yeah.
whole thing. So I'm in the hotel room with this. I think he was 11 years older than me, so
Wow.
that should say something as well. So he was like, "Yeah, like I'll get all this for you. Go, go, go. It's all good." And after that, because I knew that my mother had been trafficked, I was like, I don't really have any other options. I was kicked out of my apartment with the friend that put me in jail for the things I didn't do. So I couldn't even go back to the apartment. I was evicted. It was a whole thing. So, like, I literally had nothing. And I'm like, I think I'm just going to have to, like, go on the street corner. And he was like, have you ever done that before? And I was like, no, but it can't be that hard. Like, don't you just like stand on the street corner and like wait for somebody to come? And he was like, no, that's how you get killed. And he was like, don't worry, I have a better way to do this. And so that he showed me Backpage. And so
Girl.
that's how I got into it. And it
Wow.
was crazy. Yeah. So I only did out calls, which means I only went to them. They would never like come to me. And that's
Hmm.
how we really like kept it pretty low key because in calls were just too crazy, and then you don't want to do a hotel, so wouldn't do hotels, wouldn't do in calls. And so for 3.5 years it went on like that. I also had a full-time job. I was a hairstylist, so I worked full-time at a salon as a manager, and so I was doing that. He took that money as well. And then, of course, took all the money from my dates that I would turn at night. So, with both of those things, it was like a combination of like labor and sex trafficking because he took my like literal W 2 money that I made as well. So, I
Wow.
had no access to it. So, after a while, I'm like, and I'm 19, 20, I don't know how to do lots of stuff with money. Like, I'm not really that great with
Right.
it. So he's like, I got you. We'll take care of it. He's like, all we have to do is save 10K and then, we'll be able to leave this life. 3.5 years later, you like $100 a call. I mean, there was, a give or take for 3.5 years. We know where that money went.
Right.
We bought cars, we bought clothes, I had what we would call in the life is like wife-in-laws,
Hmm.
so other women that would be in the household with us, like all this stuff. And it's just like, how are we not at 10K yet? But of course I'm not keeping track because I'm thinking that this man just has it all
That
together
he
and he
loves you.
loves me.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how that all happened. So leaving him was really that catalyst moment of like, I'm so miserable and I hate my life, and I already had so much like happened to me before that, even to like hate my life then. But then like leaving him and trying to figure out like, what am I going to do with my life now? Like, I can't, I don't even know if I can get a job. I'm like having a hard time with hairstyling because I I was like a therapist, like everybody's like telling me things that they wouldn't even tell their therapist. And So that was really like tough for me because I'm like, I have my own stuff that
Mm-hmm.
I am like working through.
Right.
But in 2016, actually May 30th is my 10-year anniversary that
All
I left him.
praise
Thank you
that you
so
broke
much.
free. And how did you break
Yes.
free?
Yeah. So after that whole incident with him getting upset with me and putting the gun in my face, that's when I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I had planned, I started oh, and by this time we had another woman, so she was my wife-in-law, and he was taking her on her dates. I had my own car and then he had his other car. And so he would take her, but he would make me go on my dates by myself, which obviously pissed me off because I'm like, you're supposed to be there just in case anything happens. Well, this on top of what he had done to me previously, because, and that's really why I was so upset, because I would come home from my job, like my literal W 2 job. I would see them on the couch, her waiting for calls, me just getting off of work, and then me having to go turn dates by myself. That pissed me off. So I'm sitting here like, this is craziness that like I'm just sitting here taking this. And so when I finally was like, can't do this anymore. I waited about 2 weeks. It was actually around Easter when I was able to. I started like stashing money, and so like when I would go on calls at late at night, I would be like, oh, it was like a bunk call, but I was like texting my regulars and being like, hey, do you want to see me? So then I collected a bunch of money. I started stashing tips at work, like really like keeping money from him. And so when I got out, when I finally left, it was him and her. They left. I think it was actually on Easter, and they were like, do you want to come to this call with us? Like, well, really it was him. He was like, we haven't really spent any time together. Do you want to go on this call? I was like, no, because it's Easter. I know like a lot of men are going to be lonely. Like they're going to want somebody. Like I want to make sure I can get all the money we can. No,
Right. That
I,
intuition kicked
yes,
in.
girl. So
Okay.
then when they left, I took everything. I called my sister and I'm like, girl, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, but I know I want to leave. And she's like, grab this, get this. You don't need that. Like, talked me through the whole thing. And then when we left, finally, she like was like, just drive. We'll figure it out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I get a hotel? She's like, let me talk to mom. I will tell her that you're running from your abusive boyfriend. Like, I'm not going to tell her everything, but like, we'll say that. And I was like, thank you so much. So my mom did get me a hotel for a couple of weeks while I finished out my 2 weeks notice at my job. So then I could, when I transferred it, I could actually have employment when I went back to Minnesota, because this all happened in Colorado.
Okay.
So I went back to Minnesota. So that was the day on May 30th. I went back to Colorado,
And so that was the
or back
turn.
to Minnesota.
That's amazing. So that was the turning point
Yes, that
of
was that was it. That
break.
was when I was like, I have to figure out how I'm going to live, because it's like, it's that weird place where like you don't want to like off yourself, but you
Wow.
don't care if you do. Like like I literally, like if a car hit me or like something, like I would put myself in like kind of dangerous situations just to see what would happen, but like I'm so divinely protected, and God's like, you can't be, I don't care
Come
how
on.
many cars you run in front of, it's not happening. Like I'm like, dang, like like I just,
Right.
so yeah, so I just like was like, what do I do? What do I fucking do? And my dad is a chemical engineer, super duper smart guy. These are my adopted parents too, but um they I wanted to have something to talk to my dad about. So I started studying quantum physics. Like it just like popped into my head. I was like, oh, I wonder what this is about. And so I'm digging into quantum physics. It blew my mind, because all of the spiritual experiences that I have been having over my lifetime that I really didn't know what they were, I started realizing were directly connected to quantum physics. I was like, whoa, like this is insane. So, like, when that really opened me up, and then I started looking into like the spiritual paths. So I went down that for a couple of years, and then in 2018 I went to a what they call a Vipassana meditation retreat. Vipassana is just a specific kind of like Hindi meditation, Buddhist meditation,
Mm-hmm.
but they have them all over the world where you can go sit in these things for 10 days, and you meditate 10 hours a day in silence.
I bet that was amazing.
It was literally the best. But on the eighth day, because I had a really hard time sitting in lotus pose, which I think is so funny because of my name and like the path that I've gone down. So remember this,
Mm-hmm.
lotus pose. So I'm sitting in lotus pose, And every like 15 minutes I have to like pop my legs back open because I can't, it's like the pain in my hips was like really like, it was bad, like it was really painful. So
The
I'm like,
trauma.
yeah, well, yes, of course, but I didn't know that back then.
Right.
But back then, like, I'm trying to sit in this pose and meditate, but and you also at the Vipassana retreat, you can't face your feet in a certain position because it's disrespectful to put like the bottom of your feet towards like the teacher.
Wow.
So every time I would unfold my legs, I'd have to shift, and then I'm making noise and I'm feeling bad because, you know, there's other students and I'm just, you know, I'm trying to be cool. So on the 8th day, I finally am like, I don't care how bad it hurts. I'm going to sit in this freaking position and I'm just going to meditate. And Vipassana means as it is, as it is. And when you're doing this meditation, you're getting to a neutral state within where you're just seeing the sensations happening in your body as sensations because you know that they're going to change. And I actually have anicca, which means change or impermanence, tattooed on my hand so I can remember that all situations change. And so
That's
with
the
that
only thing that's constant, huh?
the only thing that's constant is change. Yes, ma'am. And so in this space, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit and I'm just gonna deal with whatever pain comes. So of course, like 15, 20 minutes into it, I'm starting to feel the pain. But after a certain amount of time, because I had been meditating in this way for 8 days up until this point, I was starting to get a lot stronger with the actual technique of it. And as the pain is like coursing through, it was so weird because all of a sudden, like, you kind of can feel your consciousness all over, but then it kind of comes to like the place in your mind here. And then all of a sudden it was outside of me. So it was I felt like my consciousness was like disconnected and I was looking at my body in excruciating pain, but stone still.
Wow.
For probably 2 to 3 hours. I don't know how long because we took breaks in between, but it's 10 hours a day. So however long, it's 2 to 3 hours of like sitting in this position in excruciating pain. And that was my second awakening.
Out
That
of body, so
it
it pushed you
literally,
into an out of body experience.
yes, fully. And so when I my consciousness came out of my body and I was looking at myself, seeing my physical vessel in pain but not feeling it emotionally, that's when I realized I had reached neutrality. True neutrality. Yes. Because I'm just sitting there like this pain is not this pain is not me. This pain is not who I am. This pain is not attached to me. Yes, I may be feeling it. My physical vessel may be experiencing it, but this experience is not me.
Yes.
And once I did that, that sent me into,
say that again. This physical experience is not
me.
Because we're spirits first, having
Yes.
a human experience.
Having a human exactly. Ooh. Exactly. And that actual like literally living it instead of just like cognitively understanding it, because in my quantum physics I knew that, you know, cognitively, but I didn't understand it because there was I couldn't experience it, or I hadn't experienced it until then. So that was the actual experience of that that expression of just being like, wow, I really am truly like this whole consciousness, this whole spirit, and this whole soul that is having a human experience. And when I was after that, I started to realize like I can't do this hair shit anymore. I was doing hair. I was like, after that, Baby, oh my God. Okay. Like, honestly, like, you think I'm just gonna, like, I just had an out of body experience, literally separated my soul from my body and with writhing pain, stone still, but I'm just gonna go back to doing hair. Right. No. So the funny thing was, it all started with tarot, actually. Which was
out to the tarot, man.
Oh, I love
spiritual
tarot.
news. If you ain't tapping in with the tarot, you missing out on what's real.
For real. It's so good because tarot is, all of the cards have their own imagery and their own message. And I personally, when I use tarot, I tap into people's unconscious. So the cards are a representation of what's being experienced in your subconscious. So you can see the themes of what's happening within your mind. And what I love so much about that was that so many people would come up to me and they were like, Saya, please, do you do tarot? Do you do tarot? When are you going to do tarot? I'm like, fuck you and these stupid motherfucking cards. Like, I'm done. Stop asking me. I'm not gonna get into your woo-woo card shit.
So what changed? What changed your mind?
One day, after like the 50th time that somebody had asked me, hey, you should do tarot, you'd be so good at it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I said to Spirit, I was like, if I'm gonna do this tarot shit, like if everybody wants me to do it so bad, I want a black and gold Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I want to find it in store, not online, and I want it to be the only one on the shelf. If I don't see that shit,
How
I'm not
much more
doing this.
specific can you be?
Oh my goodness. And like I was like
Did
to
you
the needle.
manifest it?
A couple days later, my friend who had just become the manager at a new crystal shop in town, this was in Minnesota, she calls me. She's like, Saya, I just got be promoted to the manager of this crystal shop. You should come see it. It's so beautiful in here. We have all these classes and things, and you should just come. I was like, you know what, girl? Of course I will. My bum ass, I don't have no money. But you know, had a couple
by faith.
Exactly. And so I go in there and I'm looking around, and she was like, oh, you should go look at the decks. We have so many. And I'm like, these fucking decks. So these people in these decks, these cards, right on the shelf by itself in the center, black and gold, Rider-Waite. I said, if this is what you want from me, Spirit. Yeah. And Spirit was like, oh, literally 3 days.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The power of intention.
I'm telling you, like, that's and amazing. And it was so interesting because it's also like a form of detachment. Mm-hmm. Like when that really helped me with like my manifestation powers, because when I realized how specific I was and how detached I was, I didn't even want the freaking cards. Right. Like I didn't even want them to show up. But I was like, if this is what you want from me, then you're going to provide it. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what Spirit did. Okay. So I bought the freaking deck. Yeah. Thankfully, she gave me a little discount. Shout out. That's not for the discount. Shout out for the discount. And I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to play with these freaking cards. So I did, and I still have that deck to this day. Yeah, but that really is what started my gifts, because then when I started reading myself and then I started reading others, they were like, how do you know this? And I'm like, I just know. Like I can read your fucking mind. You like just know. I just know. Yeah. And so that led me to just kind of being in the spiritual space, which was really cool. And then I so in the spiritual space, I ended up going to a breathwork class, like a group virtual one online, just like we're going to be doing. Yeah. And it was 11 like $11.11, and I was like, okay, perfect, like whatever. And it just fell into my feed, and I was like, you know what, that sounds great. And I saw somebody that I knew that had commented that she was going to it. I was like, oh, perfect, I know somebody, this will be legit. After that first session, I was like, how do I tell everyone about this? How do I make sure that every single person understands that their breath is the most powerful tool that they have? Yes. How can I show them that this is what heals you? Because after that, everything opened up for me. I didn't have any like resistance to my gifts. My tarot readings got even better, if you could believe it. And I just kept like, I could really see things in a way that like I never had ever before. And so when I finally was like, okay, I'm really gonna go all in on this, the same people that hosted the breathwork class had a facilitator training, and it was like $500 or something. I don't even know. Yeah, something like that. And so they were offering a scholarship, so I applied for the scholarship. It was like half off. And so I got the scholarship, but then I'm still having to come up. Oh yeah, because I was gonna have to come up with like $250. So I had sent them my $50 as a deposit. Right. And I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to get this other $200. Like, this is crazy. And I told them, I was like, I really want to do this training, but I honestly don't know how I'm going to get this other $200 to you. Like, can I do a payment plan? Like, what can I do? And they were like, well, let me talk to it was a husband and wife. He's like, let me talk to my wife and I'll like see if we can do something. Comes back to me the next day and was like, actually, somebody dropped out of the class, but instead of getting their $200 deposit back, they said, give it to somebody who
Wow.
wants to do this
Ain't
class.
God good?
I'm like, I paid $50 for my breathwork teacher training. It was so insane. It was amazing. Yes. And so then after that, now I've gone on to spend about $25,000 on my skills and teachings.
That's
so
beautiful.
Yes,
but you're gonna get out of it what you put into it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
let's talk about how the breath that
Yes.
we're tapping into is truly the breath of God.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
For myself personally, I have healed different ailments in my body just by doing breathing exercises. So I know, and the experience I had with you, y'all make sure y'all tap in on with this online breathing breath work workshop next week. Do not miss out because it is powerful.
April 21st at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. It's going to be so good. I will be leading it. It'll be so fun because literally I'm like going right back to what started my whole thing. Hey. So excited. Return to roots.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, it's real. It's real.
So good.
Yes. So tell us more about your experience with the breath of God, the prana, the chi energy.
Yeah. Once I realized that there were different breath patterns, what I noticed was that the breath is a highway. It's a bridge between the unconscious, where 95% of our behavior starts, and the other 5%, which is our conscious, where we're actively thinking. And what I love about the breath in this bridge is, on the unconscious side, we're breathing without even thinking about it. And thank goodness we don't have to think, because that'd be a lot. Of all the things that we have to deal with every day, the last thing I want to think about is breathing. Mm-hmm. And so, like, thank God it's just automatic. Right. But then we can also control the breath consciously. That is the only bodily function that we have that is not only unconsciously keeping us alive, but also is completely controllable. Like, you can control the breath, the in and out, the length of your breath. All of this is controllable. And the breath patterns that you are going with also will determine the state of your body. So, like, when you're exercising and you're breathing really heavy, it's because you need more oxygen, so you have to breathe harder and faster through the mouth. When you're sleeping, most of the time, hopefully, you're breathing through your nose, right? Because you're in that rest and digest phase. But depending on how you're consciously controlling it, we can so what my breath work does, and the type of breath that I do, is we are consciously going into, I think someone's calling. No, what is that? Nothing. I thought it was a call. So we consciously are putting ourselves into a hyperventilative state. When you think about hyperventilation, it's exactly what you're thinking. You're like, and now we're not going that fast, but with the body and the way that the breath is going, it is telling your body that you are in a hyper state, an escalated state. The reason that we want to put ourselves into that state consciously is because we're in this state unconsciously a lot. This fight, flight, freeze response that we have, this like automatic response, is very much something that happens unconsciously that we don't know how to deal with because we're not even understanding that we're there. So when you put yourself in this state and you give yourself the ability to show your body that, yes, even though I'm in a hyperventilative state, I'm safe. You show yourself that you are able to handle what is happening in your body and simultaneously be okay externally. And that teaches the body to stop hyper reacting to stimulus externally. So this is going to help with anger. This is going to help with stress, anxiety, because if you're purposely putting yourself in a hyper state while then also being in a safe space to express that, your body learns that this actually isn't that bad. This is actually not an awful thing to be in. I can handle being in this hyperactive state and still remain safe. And this is what brings the healing forward. This is what gives the opportunity for your ancestors to come through, your guides, thoughts, your connection to your body, like all of that gets brought in because you're making that literal bridge between your unconscious and your conscious.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So I
amazing.
had mentioned to you about how the majority of people, we hold our breath.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it, why, like, we are literally sometimes not breathing? And I catch myself, like, I'm not breathing. Sometimes I even wake up gasping for air.
Yeah.
Like I just stopped breathing in my sleep or something. So what is the cause for that?
That is usually a stress response. It is your body is like bracing for impact consistently. And so there what gets to happen when you do like longer sessions or like guided sessions with breath work is that the reason that you could do it on your own, that it's not going to be as potent, is because when you're trying to guide your own energy, but your unconscious state is stress, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get to an energetic frequency of safety by yourself because your body doesn't understand what it's experiencing. But when you're in a space and you're being held and you're also being held with other people, there is a sense of community there and also a sense of safety from the person that's facilitating that allows the body to like to relax a little bit more even though it's in that hyperventilative state. And when we're holding our breath, it's all for that hypervigilance. It's the I don't know how to be safe here, and that state of rest is escalated by cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And what I love about breath work is over time, it literally decreases your stress response, decreases cortisol, and cortisol wreaks havoc in high states on your body. So if you're consistently experiencing high cortisol, the problem with that is you're going to have a lot of health issues as well. Really? So yeah, what kind of health oh issues? Goodness, there's so many different ones. There's high blood pressure, hypertension, there's like digestion issues, GI stuff, heart stuff. Like there's so many different ailments that come through. Also, just like chronic inflammation, chronic pain in the body, because cortisol, when it's heightened like that, is saying, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. And we were not built to remain in a constant stress response. Right. That stress response was meant for tigers and bears. Oh my. Bears. Oh my. That's what it was for. It was not meant to constantly be in. And in the world that we live in today, we're constantly in a state of stress. Right. There's so many things outside of us that are constantly increasing our inflammation on all these things. And then on top of that, we're stressed as heck. So now that heightened cortisol is totally wreaking havoc on the body. So when you learn how to create that bridge in your mind through breath and through your body through breath, that bridge allows that cortisol to reduce over time. So you stop being that your constant state actually reduces in cortisol over time.
That's awesome.
It's so literally amazing.
Practicing breath work helps you to activate mindfulness.
Yes.
And so how does practicing breath work contribute to healing trauma, past life trauma, this lifetime trauma? Where does the breath work and healing come into play?
Absolutely. Really, for especially for trauma, because when trauma is something that happened too fast, too soon, or too much for the body to handle. And trauma only happens one time. The first instance of something is the impact of trauma. Every time that you feel the feeling that you had that's connected back to that first time, you are replaying unconsciously that same wound over and over and over again. It's not a new wound. You're not, you, that's why trauma doesn't have to be a lifelong thing. You can actually heal it because it only is attached to that first time. And every time after that is an unconscious choice to feel that feeling again and to connect whatever you're experiencing with that first thing that hurt you. Too much, too hard, too fast, too soon. Right?
And is that also the reason why people choose to put themselves in situations where they're constantly experiencing that first
Yeah.
traumatic experience with people, places, things?
Yes, exactly. Because when you realize that the first time you got through it, your coping mechanism is to put yourself into familiarity. We thrive in familiarity. So if we're consistently familiar with that, at least we know how to get out of that. I don't know how to be good. I don't know how to be okay. I don't know how to be if constantly I'm having these experiences where I'm so traumatized and like things keep happening and then I keep seeing like the pattern that I'm not seeing is continuing, then I don't even know how to get out of it. But I've created a normal in my life. And that's what happened to me. I mean, God, even after I left my pimp, it was like abusive relationships, it was cheating, it was like constantly homeless, like in and out of like couch surfing. Like for years, I struggled with this after I left him. So the first initial impact was him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then consequently after that, it was like I was choosing him over and over again because I
And
knew how to
different
leave him.
people.
Yeah, I knew how to leave him.
Right.
And if I could just keep doing that, then it was like a dopamine hit every time I like got the achievement, which was leaving, or they left me, one of the two. Most of the time they left me, but either way, like that was familiar to me. I was familiar with like non-lasting relationships. So that's just like one example of how that very first thing, that abandonment wound, had literally like continued on in my life, and I didn't even realize that I was replaying this. And when I say that we're choosing it, I'm talking about an unconscious choice. This is not something that you are consciously doing. 95% of your decisions are made completely unconscious. So, what if you could actually trust that those 95% of your unconscious choices, you could trust them, that you could actually trust that they were going to have your best interest at heart? When you reduce your cortisol and you heal from that first initial wounding, that is when you're able to trust your unconscious decisions. And then you don't have to be on hypervigilance anymore because you don't have to worry that you're going to make the same mistake. That's healed.
Right.
It's gone.
Right.
That urge to do that pattern is gone.
Right.
And that's how healing works with breath work specifically and somatic healing in general.
Beautiful, breaking the cycles. And so that's what we're here today, talking about getting back to self love, um, and healing, tapping back into the things that causes us to make bad decisions. Because what I've learned is that the majority of us have all experienced trauma, but we have not healed those childhood wounds. And so we have a lot of grown children,
Yes,
walking around, and of course hurt people. And since nobody's coming to save us, it is our responsibility to heal,
yes,
so that we can break the cycle and of course give our children a better future, because of course the children are the future.
yes.
So focusing on yourself at this time is definitely where it's at. Self-love is the highest vibration, it is the greatest love of all. So is there anything else you want the people to know about you? Because we're going to be all up in your face online next week, baby. Tap this.
I'm so excited. No,
Yes.
it's going to be so good. Just
is.
really come with an open heart, come with an open mind, because, it's not always that, we're like going into the deep depths of trauma. Like, what I love about the breath is because it's also controllable.
Yes.
It's not like I'm going in and like doing psychological surgery unless you want me to, like we can have that pool too. But what I love about virtual breath work or like breath work in a group is that you can really pace yourself.
Yes, you can.
And so you can get in and out of the active breath as needed. Right. So if there's any fear around this, or if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm ready for all that, don't even worry about it. Just come and breathe, see how you feel, and know that you can like tap out of the active breath at any time.
Yes.
At any time. So that's what I'll say about that. So we're going to be doing that on Zoom with me. I'm so excited.
Yes.
It is donation based. So, come with whatever you have. And we are going to do a good long, it'll be about 45 minutes. And then there'll probably be about 15 minutes of sharing at the end. So plan for an hour, but it's at 7:30 p.m. on April 21st. So if you want the Zoom link, you can either message me or Lashunda, and then we'll be able to get that to you. And we'll, of course, have a flyer here soon for the reminders and everything.
Now, how should the people prepare for this event? Like, we talked about being comfortable, letting people know if you're in the house with someone.
Yes.
So on and so forth.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, there'll be a place for in the breathing. I usually curate a playlist depending on the vibes. And so I always offer a space for primal scream or any sort of sound. So if there is people in your house that, you're going to be with around that time, you can always bring a pillow. I love a pillow. It's a good muffler. You can always make sound into that, or you can just let your people know, hey, I'm fine. Like nothing's happening. I'm being guided through breath work, and might hear some sounds, but I'm good. Water, chapstick for your lips. You are going to be doing breathing in and out of your mouth. So really, that's it. You are going to want to have like a quiet space where you can lay down. Laying down is best because of the type of breath that we're doing. If you can't for ability reasons, then of course, please like accommodate. You'll still be able to participate, but being able to lay down is best.
And definitely have that pillow, because with my session with her, I wanted to scream. But I didn't, because we were at a space where it was residential, and baby, I know everybody would have been out their door trying to see what Shonda K hollering about. Okay? So make sure you got that pillow, baby, so you can scream, because it is such a powerful experience, and you're gonna release this trauma, whether it's past life, this lifetime. You're gonna release it and screaming. Oh, baby.
Woo-hoo!
Yes,
I'm so
baby.
excited.
Yes, baby. I'm excited too. It's healing time, y'all.
Yes.
Nobody's coming to save us. You got to save yourself. And so you're going to get out of life what you put into it. It's time for everybody to focus on you, do what's best for you. And this breathing workshop, this breath work workshop is definitely what's best for you. I ain't never lied to you, baby. Shonda, can't keep it real, okay? Shouts out to the Empress Saya Lotus. We appreciate her. I appreciate you so much
for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, is there any last words that you want to say to the people? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to say.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm just so excited for this. I know that this is going to reach the exact right people who are looking for this type of healing that maybe have tried so many other things: therapy, affirmations, podcasts, personal development books. Like I literally went through it all before falling on breathwork and somatic healing. And so like if that's you, this is going to be such a beautiful introduction to a whole world. And change can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. You're going to know then how to control the change and how to move with it as you are growing in that change. And like I said, I have change literally tattooed on my hand to make sure that I remember that all situations change, and you're going to change whether you like it or not. So you might as well, and you might as well like who you're changing into. You might as well start enjoying your life as you're making these changes.
Indeed. Now, before we go, just real quick, what other services do you offer for people who want to, be more intimate or just dive deeper into Saya Lotus and what she bringing to the table, baby?
Yes. If you are somebody who's like, okay, I'm hearing all of this and I'm like, I know that I'm going to need somebody to walk me through something longer, a little bit more of a process, I have lots of different options. I do have my one-on-one guidance. It's a 3-month container that you work with me directly one-on-one. And I love this because everybody says, oh, healing takes so long. I heard when I first got out of the life and I was going through therapy and everything, oh, the best you can hope for is some coping mechanisms. I refused to believe that. And I was like, absolutely not. And so when I found breath work, I was like, I want to make this faster. I want to make sure that people can understand the mechanics behind why they're feeling trauma, and so that they can actually get rid of it. So that is like intensive, but it's 90 days. Can you go through 90 days to get rid of your trauma and start enjoying your life? If you have 90 days with me, well, that's what we'll be doing. I also have Driven by Desire. At the time of this recording, I have another cohort coming up May 1st. That is my group program. We're going to be walking through the same thing, but it's going to be in community. So same results. It'll 8-week course, but it's going to be in community, which is really, really amazing. I also have single sessions available. This is for the person who's really just like, I just need this specific thing that I know keeps haunting me to like blast out of here. That's what we do in my single sessions. And then, of course, I do tarot and human design readings as well, if you're interested in those.
Indeed. Now, how can the people get in touch with you?
Yeah, here on Facebook, I'm Saya Lotus here, Instagram and TikTok. And I have my website, which is quintinasani.com. We'll put it all in the notes.
We sure will.
And everywhere else. Also, you can email me, DM me. I'm on Telegram as well, if you can find me on there. And yeah, I think that's everywhere.
Beautiful. Now, if you all want to send donations today, you can do that through Cash App at the money sign Return to Healing, and we'll make sure the Empress get a check. Okay. And I love y'all, man. Ahab, thank you so much for your time, your energy. It is time to put you first. It's healing time. It's time to do what's best for you, baby. Breathwork workshop next week. It's going down.
Ashe.
Ashe. And Asha. Hey.